Attention passionate Montreal, Canadiens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the Atlantic Division and it could shake up the entire conference. We're talking about a direct impact on Montreal Canadiens' path to another Stanley Cup run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Montreal Canadiens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Montreal Canadiens fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, let's dive into what might seem like just another off-season rumor, but in reality, it could be a game changer for the Canadiens and the entire NHL landscape. We're talking about the Vegas Golden Knights, a team that, ever since their inception, has been known for making bold moves, especially when it comes to acquiring top-tier talent. And now, with the looming free agency of Mitch Marner, a name that has fans across the league buzzing, Vegas is positioning itself as a serious contender to make a splash. The Golden Knights, as many of you know, have been aggressive in their approach, not shying away from trading away big names or making hefty signings to build a competitive roster. Their aim? To win now, to capitalize on their window, and to leave a mark on the league in a way that few teams have managed since their expansion. Since their debut, Vegas has been on a relentless pursuit of star power. Remember when they traded for Mark Stone or signed players like Jack Eichel? These moves weren't just about filling the roster, they were about making a statement. And the same goes for how they handled their goaltending situation. Just a few years ago, they parted ways with Marc-Andre Fleury, who was then one of the league's top goalies, after an incredible run that included a 36-win season, a 198 goals against average, and a 928 save percentage. That was a bold move, but it illustrated a clear philosophy. Vegas isn't afraid to make tough decisions if it means getting closer to their ultimate goal, a Stanley Cup. Now shifting focus to the upcoming free agency on July 1st, the Golden Knights are in a prime position. They currently have around $6 million in projected cap space, with only 17 of their 23 roster spots filled. That leaves them some room to maneuver, and they're clearly eyeing the biggest fish out there, Mitch Marner. The Toronto Maple Leafs winger, at just 28 years old, is a player that can change a game in an instant. His speed, vision, and scoring ability make him a perfect fit for a team looking to push for deep playoff runs. But acquiring him won't be easy. Vegas will need to clear cap space, and that's where the rumors really heat up. Among the potential cap casualties are some interesting names that could pique the Canadiens' interest, especially considering Montreal's current roster and future plans. For instance, William Karlsson, the 32-year-old center with a left shot, could be a candidate to move. Karlsson signed an 8-year deal with Vegas, averaging $5.9 million annually, and has been a key player for the Knights since they drafted him. Over the 2023-24 season, he scored 60 points in 70 games, a solid contribution. But last season, his production dipped significantly, only 29 points in 53 games, partly due to missing 2 months because of injury. That kind of dip might make Vegas more open to moving him, especially if they're trying to free up cap space for a marquee signing like Marner. And let's not forget that Karlsson's contract includes a modified no-trade clause, which means he can name a list of 10 teams he doesn't want to be traded to. It's a detail that could complicate things, but it's not insurmountable. The Canadiens, with their wealth of draft picks and prospects, might see an opportunity here. Montreal has more draft capital than most teams, with 12 picks this year alone and 9 in the next draft, whereas Vegas has only 6 in this draft and 5 in the following year, with no first-round pick in either year. That gives the Canadiens some leverage in negotiations, whether they're looking to acquire a player like Karlsson or a different asset altogether. Another intriguing option for Vegas is Tomas Hertl, a 31-year-old center who was acquired in March 2024 from the San Jose Sharks. Hertl is a big, talented forward with 5 years left on his contract, carrying a cap hit of $75 million. Last season, he posted 61 points in 73 games, playing on Vegas' second line. He has the experience, the skill, and the leadership qualities that could make him a valuable addition to Montreal's top 6. But there's a big caveat. Hurdle has a full no-movement clause, meaning the Canadiens would need to convince him to waive it, which isn't always easy, especially for a player with a no-trade clause in a market like Montreal's. And with 6 years remaining on his contract, it's a sizable commitment that might not align with the Canadiens' short-term rebuild strategy. Of course, all these rumors are just that, rumors, but they highlight a broader reality about the NHL offseason. Teams like Vegas are willing to take risks, to push the boundaries of their cap space, and to make bold moves to secure future success. The Canadiens, meanwhile, are in a different position. They're in a bit of a rebuild, focusing on developing their prospects and accumulating draft capital, but they certainly aren't against making a splash if the right opportunity comes along. Their current roster is full of young talent, and with the likes of Juraj Slavkovsky, Kaiden Guhle, and others showing promise, Montreal is building a foundation for the future. Speaking of Guhle, the 22-year-old defenseman has been one of the bright spots for the Canadiens in recent seasons. His physical style of play, combined with his developing offensive game, has made him a key piece on Montreal's blue line. The team's defensive core is young but promising, and adding experience or star power through a trade could accelerate their rebuild or push them into playoff contention sooner rather than later. The Canadiens' management has shown in the past that they're willing to be patient, but they're also not afraid to make bold moves if it means improving the team's chances. Looking ahead, the 2023-24 season was a mixed bag for Montreal. They showed flashes of brilliance, especially with their young core, but inconsistency and injuries hampered their progress. The team finished with a record that left fans yearning for more, and the offseason now becomes a crucial period for key acquisitions, coaching tweaks, and strategic planning. The front office, led by Kent Hughes and his staff, is likely analyzing every possibility to strengthen the roster, whether through trades, free agency, or draft picks. Their goal is clear: to build a more competitive team that can contend in the tough Atlantic Division and make noise in the playoffs. And speaking of the division, it's worth noting that the Atlantic has become one of the most competitive divisions in recent years. The Boston Bruins, Tampa Bay Lightning, and Toronto Maple Leafs are all formidable opponents with deep rosters and high expectations. The Canadiens, traditionally seen as underdogs, are now looking to punch above their weight. Acquiring a player like Mitch Marner or even a solid second-line center could be the piece that elevates Montreal from the middle of the pack to a legitimate playoff threat. Of course, the challenge for the Canadiens is balancing their cap space, player development, and short-term competitiveness. They need to be smart in their moves, targeting players who can contribute immediately but also fit into their long-term plans. The draft is another critical element, as Montreal has a wealth of picks that can be used to acquire prospects or future assets. Building through the draft, combined with strategic trades, is the way they're aiming to accelerate their rebuild. Now, let's talk a bit about the fan base, because no matter what happens on paper, the passion of Montreal Canadiens supporters is what truly drives this team. The Canadiens have one of the most loyal and dedicated fan bases in the league, known for their unwavering support even during tough times. They've seen their team win 24 Stanley Cups, more than any other franchise in NHL history, and that legacy fuels their desire for success. Every offseason rumor, every free agent signing, every trade talk is magnified by this fervor. Fans are eager for the team to return to greatness, to see their beloved Bleu-Blanc Rouge hoisting the cup once again. The team's management is well aware of this passion. They've been patient, rebuilding with a focus on youth and draft capital, but the window is always open for a bold move that can turn the tide. Whether it's adding a veteran presence, a star winger, or a reliable defenseman, Montreal's front office knows that decisive action can set the course for years to come. And with the NHL offseason now underway, the stage is set for some exciting developments that could reshape the Canadiens' future. As we look towards the upcoming season, there's a palpable sense of anticipation among fans. They're eager to see how the team evolves, whether through internal growth or external acquisitions. The hope is that Montreal can find that perfect blend of young talent and experienced veterans to push them into postseason contention. The team's recent history has been a roller coaster, but with the right moves, they can return to their winning ways and once again be a force to reckon with in the NHL. So in conclusion, while the rumors about Vegas and their cap space might seem like just another offseason story, they actually highlight the bigger picture of what's happening in the NHL right now. Teams are aggressive, strategic, and willing to take risks to win now. Montreal, with its proud history and passionate fan base, is watching closely, ready to pounce if the right opportunity presents itself. Whether it's through a trade, free agency, or draft day maneuvering, the Canadiens are positioning themselves for a potential leap forward, aiming to bring back the glory days and make their fans proud once again. And now, Montreal Canadiens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these rumors and the team's future direction? Do you believe Montreal should go all in for a star like Marner or focus on building through young prospects? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Canadiens. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Montreal Canadiens news. This offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and you don't want to miss a thing. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Canadiens!